guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing some modifications on Susie's Mini R56 Cooper S. So I bought some springs and some spacers off Marketplace. So I've had to modify the spacers so they're all the same size. But yeah, we're going to lower it and put springs and spacers. I've recently got tickets for the Land on No Bromborough to Land on No run in January, so I wanted to do as a little family thing, but the car doesn't really look that modified, does it? So I thought, let's lower it, let's put on spacers, let's give it a bit of stance. So you guys will come and join me, and I'll show you how to do it. It's the first time I've ever done a Mini, lowering a Mini, but I've lowered hundreds of cars in the past, so it can't be that hard. Let's just do it all safe, and let's see how we go. And I've got a chance to try my new spring clamps as well, like so. All right guys, come on. So I'm going to undo them two bolts on the top to hold the top cap on, and there's a bolt there to hold the shock on, and then we'll pull the full strut out, see if we can get it out without letting the anti-roll bar go. So big bolt, two little ones on the top cap, and the whole strut slides out from the bottom as long as you've got the car jacked up high enough. So we'll undo the top cap and we'll swap the suspension spring over now. So this is what I went for. I went for H&R springs, got them off Marketplace, second hand, never been fitted, and I got a set of 15mm spacers. Well, I bought spacers super cheap off the R56 page off Facebook, and I thought they were a set of 4 15mm spacers, but there was a set of 2 15mm spacers and 2 20mm spacers, so I ended up taking the rear spacers into work and machining them down. So I've machined them down in the lathe, so they're all 15mm, so I have a 15mm square setup on wheel spacers. I've ordered longer bolts as well, so it'll be a nice fit. So there's one shock done, all tightened up. You need an Allen key, and it's 16mm spanner size for the nut and a 5mm Allen key. Okay, let's get on to the front. Right, wheels off, jacked up with axle stand in safe place. We've got a 21 spanner size mil nut on the top. I'd suggest cracking that off before you let everything go, otherwise it's going to be really hard to crack that off. So I've cracked that off now. And then we've got take your brake hose off. I mean, that's an ABS sensor probably. Unclip that, and then you've got 18mm nut and 18mm bolt. Well, should we say spanner size? Undo that, and then that clamps the strut, and we're going to have to take that anti-roll bar link off as well. See the nut there for the anti-roll bar link there. So here we are, front struts off, got the spring clamps. You might look at these spring clamps and think they look brand new. They actually are brand new. I lent a set of spring clamps to a lad in work, and I didn't hear from him for like 6 months, maybe nearly a year. He said he had to do some MOT work on his car, and when I asked him about him, he said, oh yeah, I've lost him, mate. So I don't know if he snapped them or what, but you don't really lose parts like this. But he bought me, give him his due, he bought me a brand new set of spring clamps. And look at these, they're well small, so you can actually pull a socket. So you put a half inch drive ratchet in there, so they're actually proper smart. So I've got 2. It's just clamping, just taking the tension force off the spring, so when I take the top cap off, it's nice and loose. Remember I said we take the top cap, we undo the top nut. It's actually 21mm spanner size nut. We undo the top nut just crack it off a little bit while it's still on the car, because it'd be absolute murder now, especially if you haven't got an impact driver gun. So all right, we'll whip this off and we'll get the new spring on. See, it's all unbolted and there's no tension force on it at all. What I tend to do, quick tip, is when you're unbolting everything, put it in order. So we've got nut, top cap, washer. See, nut, top cap, washer, and then this is like the spring cup. The spring cup will come off, that'll go in, and it just at least you know what order, or take pictures on your phone before you strip them down, so at least you know what order. Sometimes someone might speak to you, or you might get a phone call, or your wife might get involved or something like that, and you just lose track of what's going on, and then if you put it back together all wrong, it'll make the odd noise or actually not really work very well. So just best to take pictures, or as I do, just take it off in sections. There she is, built up with the new spring. So there she is, all tightened up. What you need to do is you need to put, as I say, I've got the axle stand, haven't I? I put a jack on the underneath to lift the hub and the arm up, because it's quite heavy. And then you lift it up, line, make sure all in there is clean, and then put a bit of grease or a bit of oil, and then you line up the shock. The shock's got like a piece of metal with a hole in it, you know, where the bolt goes through. You line up the shock and then lift up the jack with the car on the axle stand. The arm goes up, you might have to give it a little wiggle, and then the shock will go straight in and you'll hear it go dink. And then when you keep jacking, the car will just start lifting up off the axle stand. As I say, just put the arm underneath, the jack on right underneath the arm, and then you tighten up the bolt. Okay guys, hope that gave you a little insight of how easy it is to lower a car. A lot of people would charge like 150 quid to 200 quid to lower a car. It is quite easy with, I'd say, a decent socket set and spring clamps, and you need a jack and at least 2 axle stands to do it safely. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's doable. You know what I mean? Most hobby mechanics can do it. It's easy enough. But how good does the car look, man? It looks awesome, doesn't it? So that's on H&R Lowland springs and 15mm spacers. So it's a 15mm square spacer setup. Just looks so good, doesn't it? And sits so cool, like. So the wife absolutely hates it. She hates it lowered now, but tough, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's gonna look sick, like. Looks sick. So, right guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Please take it easy, laters.
If you please like and subscribe.